Okay, so you were telling me that you're a little bit confused because you don't know if he is confused about his orientation and his sexuality, or if he's trying to use you as a way of getting back with your friend.
Yeah, because like when they started dating, my friend didn't want anything serious with this guy, and this guy was like really into the relationship, really putting like a lot of effort and time, and like my friend used to tell me about that all the time, like what a good guy he was.
Okay.
And then like out of nowhere, I feel like this guy like got tired of like trying, but like now my friend does want something serious, and I feel like this guy doesn't anymore. And maybe like this is a way of him just like showing off with my friend or something, and that's what like scares me a little bit, because like what if I tell my friend about what happened and everything, and then this guy just like blows off, like he was like just fooling around with me all the time, and then my friend gets like really mad at me for this, and it wasn't worth it.
Okay. So you are considering being with him even though he was with your friend previously.
Yes.
Okay. So what would you think that your friend might tell you if you tell him what happened?
Well, my friend, he is like a bit immature, and I feel like he's not sure of what he wants.
Okay.
And what confuses me a bit is that before the party, he was sure that he didn't want to be with him, and then after the party, somehow he changed his mind.
Okay.
So, like, I feel like there are two, like, paths. The first one is, like, him being really mature about this and really comprehensive and really, like, supporting with me. And the other is, like, him getting really mad at me, or what I'm most afraid of is, like, him making this some sort of competition for this guy, and, like, us fighting for who stays with who, and, like, that's what I am like really afraid of, because as I told you, like my friend is really like he's a bit immature, and like they are both younger than me, so I feel like I should approach the subject in a way that he understands that I didn't do this like fully on purpose.
Okay.
And that I didn't do it like to hurt him or to destroy something between them. It just like somehow happened, and I wasn't the only one involved in this. Like this guy was involved too, so I hope that he like really gets this and understands me.
Okay, so it seems to me that you are seeing like this episode with maturity, because in a way you're telling me that yeah, it's not only you that were involved in this situation, but it was also him, and on the other side, like you weren't trying to make this on purpose. So perhaps, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you're not feeling guilty at a full percent because of this, because you're viewing it like, yeah, well, he also made it, and I also did it, so.
Yeah, and this is like really weird, because as you said, like I don't feel like fully guilty, because like at first I did, but then I realized that like I didn't really started things. I was just like trying to blend in, because when I went to this party, I just knew my friend and like this guy. I just knew them both, and literally like no one else. So I was just trying to like stay calm. I didn't drink that much, and this guy was the one that started approaching me and like asking me to go like to the balcony with him, and like asking me for drinks and everything. So as I realized this, I noticed that it's not just my fault.
Okay.
But on the other hand, like I went to the party kind of wanting something to happen between us, because I knew that my friend wasn't going to be with him anymore, or that's what I thought. And when I first met this guy, I felt like this really strong connection.
Okay.
And I feel like we really have like a lot of things in common. And when we're together, I'm not like worried about anything else. So I thought that it was impossible, like because I thought he was strongly gay. Yeah, so but I did went with like the expectations of wanting to be with him.
Okay. So you did feel something for him
Yeah.
previously to this episode. And do you think that something could happen with him?
I'm not sure because I told you he's younger and I feel like he's a bit immature too, and maybe he's just like experimenting with a lot of things. But at the same time, like when we're together, we have gone out like 2 times,
Okay.
and when we're together, it feels like he's really trying to like bond with me, and it doesn't feel like a joke or like just fooling around. It feels like he's really, really into it.
Okay.
But then, like the other day, we were with his friends, and my friend arrived, and he suddenly was like really distant, and really just cold and like uninterested.
Okay.
So I feel like he's still like in between my friend and me, and this for me is like a really big problem.
Okay. So you do realize that perhaps he changes when your friend arrives, and the fact that he doesn't decide if he likes your friend or if he likes you confuses you, and you really don't know what to think about all of this. But do you think that if you tell your friend about this guy, your relationship as friends would be over?
It depends on like how he feels about this guy. Like if what he told me is true, and he really does want to be with him and like feels a strong connection with him, I feel like knowing this would hurt him a lot.
Okay.
But I still feel like I'm like on the obligation to tell him because I mean I know there were a lot of people at the party and someone probably saw us, and if he finds out like from someone else, it would be like way worse.
Okay.
And I feel like then he would strongly believe that I betrayed him and that I am trying to keep this like a secret.
Okay. So you do know that perhaps someone else will tell him that he saw you two kissing, but also you're a little bit you really don't know if you should tell him or not, but you don't want anybody else to tell him. Okay, so would you say that it's worth the risk doing this?
I mean, I don't know because I'm like risking my friendship, but then if I don't tell him and he somehow finds out, and let's say that I don't even end up with this guy, like I'm losing everything. And like his relationship is really important for me, and what I'm mostly worried about is that we've never fought before. Like in all the time that we've been friends, we've never fought over anything. And as I told you, like we've never shared the legs for some common people because like it's not possible. But now it just somehow happened, and I feel like for our first fight, it's like a really big fight. Like it's something really big. It's not like just anything.
Okay. So it seems to me that your relationship is really important to you and you don't want to keep it. But would you say that if you two work together and if you tell him everything and tell him that you really don't want to lose his friendship, do you think that perhaps there is a way that he can understand what happened to you and understand that you are feeling something that is real and honest and perhaps trying to move forward from this step?
I feel like maybe like at some point with like the 3 of us should talk, because it's not like just me that should do the talking, but this guy too, and obviously my friend too. But for us to go that further, we have to talk like 1-to-1 first. So I feel like I should talk to this guy first and realize what does he want, and if he's really projecting himself to the future with me. If he is not, maybe it would be like an easier conversation, because I would just tell him like, look, this was a one-night thing and it didn't mean anything, and it's just, I swear I'll never bump into your relationships again. But if he says that he does want to be with me, then that's like a bit more complicated. And if he does want to be with me, he has to figure out if he wants nothing with my friend. If he does want something with my friend, then that would be really uncomfortable, and I feel like if the 3 of us hang together, like it's gonna feel really weird. So that's what like makes me nervous too. Like let's say that my friend stays with this guy, I would feel really weird, and I feel like that would distance us a bit too.
Okay, so it seems that you have considered every single option available in this issue.
Yeah.
What do you think that he would do if something like this happened to him, hypothetically?
I don't know. I feel like he would be like he wouldn't be able to keep the secret as long as I have. I think he's really honest, and he does it because like he's that way and he likes to be truthful. But at the same time, I feel like he would approach it in a way that I wouldn't be mad.
Okay.
And that's what I want to achieve. Like I want to express myself in a way that he knows that I'm not fighting him for this. I'm not like, if he wants to be with this guy, I will back up and just like be friends with them both. I just need him to understand that I never meant to hurt him.
Okay.
And that I will do anything possible for him not to feel bad about this.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that you do know how he will do it, but you don't know how to tell him because you don't know how to communicate your guilt, for example, in a way that he wouldn't get mad and he wouldn't think that you're fighting him. So could you explain to me a little bit more about why do you think that this happens to you? Like, why do you think that he might think you're fighting him?
Okay, so I had like this previous experience. It was like something similar, but like that time I had nothing to do with it. We were in high school, and I had a group of 5 friends, and one of them had just broken up with her boyfriend, and it was like a really toxic breakup because he just like suddenly left the country and never told her anything, so it was like really weird. And she was really mad and sad and everything broken. And we were seniors, and this guy came into like the school. He was a junior, and I don't know why my friend really liked him. He was a normal guy, and she was like really in crush with him, but never approached him directly.
Okay.
And somehow, I don't know, like we became really friends, and we started spending time together. And my friend somehow thought that I had like crossed her or something, and that I had like taken her opportunity of being with this guy, and she got like really mad at me, and like that was never my intention. And I've known this guy for like 5 years, and nothing has ever happened.
Okay.
So I feel like I lost her friendship, like because I didn't communicate myself correctly.
Okay.
And I felt like I did show like somehow showed that I was fighting her for something, and I don't know, I just don't want that to happen again, because in this case I did have the intentions to, and I was involved in everything, and so I just need to find a way to talk to my friend and let him know that like what I really feel.
Okay, so it seems that there are a lot of things that are adding up to this. Like in one way, yeah, all of this happened, and it's making you feel guilty, and you don't want to lose him, but you also don't want to lose the opportunity to be with a guy that you really feel something for. And also you're afraid that you may not be able to communicate these things in a way that he may understand you, the way that you wanted him to understand you. But you're telling me also that you've never fought with each other.
Yeah.
How is your relationship? Like, you do tell each other everything?
Yeah, we've been very honest, and I feel like from the beginning there was this feeling of like non-judging the other, and that has made us like really close and really open. Like when something happens, the first person I tell is him, and like vice versa. And even though there are like really deep things, we don't care. Like we're just really open. I've never lied to him about anything, and that's why this is like such a burden for me. And I feel like that's what I'm afraid of, because as I've never fought with him, I don't know like his reactions, and I've never really seen him mad about something. But I don't know, like I think it's a possibility. Like as I don't know him in that way, I don't really know how to react.
So it seems that it's something that's really difficult for you, and
Yeah.
it's confusing you, but you're also sad and guilty about all these things. And correct me if I'm wrong, you're telling me that you've never lied to him. Perhaps you feel even worse because you're feeling like this is your first lie?
yeah, like, yeah, I've never done anything like to hurt him. And I feel like somehow, like directly or indirectly, this is gonna end up like being really hard for him. Because even if we stay friends, he lost the opportunity to be with this guy. And if I stay with this guy, he's gonna have to see me like every day in pictures and everything with him. And like that's really like scary for me. And that's why like for me the easiest solution right now is just to drop everything and never tell my friend anything and just never talk to this guy again. But I know that that's not the most mature thing to do right now, and I just like I know it's gonna come up. Like sooner or later he's gonna find out. Like I'm really sure. Like I picture myself really drunk telling him in like a few years, and him getting really mad at me. So I rather just solve everything right now. I just don't know like what steps to take in order for this to be a bit easier.
Okay. So let me ask you, do you think that it would be fair if you drop things with this guy and never see him again and lose the opportunity of being with him? Do you think it's fair to you, or would you be okay with that?
I mean, I don't really know this guy. I've known him for like a month. But I told you, like, I really feel this strong connection with him. I don't think it would affect me as much as it would affect my friend, because they've known each other for like a year.
Okay.
And in that way, he has like a bit of an advantage over me, because they have shared like many moments together and they know each other like a bit deeper. So I don't think I would be like truly affected by this. I could just like get over it in about like 2 weeks. I mean, I don't feel like right now it's like really necessary. But I feel like for my friend it is, because they share a lot of friends, they go to the same places, they do the same things, and they have shared like this stage of like the people knowing that they are gay. So they have been through that together, and I feel like that has like bonded them really strongly. So I don't feel like I would be okay with dropping it, but just knowing that it would be like for my friend.
Okay. So you would prefer like not telling him anything and just leaving the guy like outside of the frame and continue being friends with him. But the reason that it's like leaning you towards telling him is that you think that perhaps somebody else saw you.
Yeah.
So you're 100% sure that if somebody else saw you, they might tell your friend about this?
I mean, that's what, I don't know. I mean, I feel like deep down, he kind of already knows, because it wasn't really evident, and it was really like visible. Like we were like, I told you, we were like all dancing in this huge circle, and then like out of nowhere he came towards me and like told me to dance with him. And we barely knew each other, so like I believe that it was really clear, and that he somehow indirectly knows like something happened and something is happening between us. And I remember like at the party we were dancing, and he was like right beside us, and he had this face like of disappointing. And I like that's what at the end made me feel like even more guilty. I didn't like even give him time to get out of this relationship, or just like be sure of what he wanted. And yeah, I mean, I feel like when I tell him, he's gonna be like, I know, like I've known all this time, and maybe he's already mad at me and accumulating like all his feelings, and I haven't noticed.
So you also think that perhaps he's just like waiting for you to tell him and waiting to see if you want to tell him?
Yeah, maybe he's like testing me somehow to see like how good of a friend I am.
Okay. So would you say that your travels communicating, as you said before, yeah, they affected you in a previous relationship with your friend of yours, and you're afraid that it may affect this one, but would you think that perhaps you could develop the skills to like talk to him about this, knowing that perhaps he wouldn't want to be with you anymore, or he would get mad with you anymore?
Yeah, I feel like some way or another, I'm gonna end up telling him, like the bad or the good way. Somehow I will, and I will be like, I will accept the consequences no matter what happens. Like if he gets mad at me, I will accept it because I understand that it's really hard for him. If he wants to be with this guy, I would understand. Like, I just want to be like, make him feel like no matter what he decides, I'm gonna agree. Like, and about the skills, I think I have them. It's just the fear, like of like the thought of losing him. That's kept me from doing it, and I've been very anxious about this, and I haven't really slept that much, thinking of, like, going it through my mind, like what would I tell him, and I feel like I've already like built a speech. I just don't have like the guts to tell it. Yeah, I'm waiting for like the right moment to tell him.
Okay, so it's not that you don't know what to say, it's that you don't know how to say it and when to say it.
Yeah.
So it seems to me that perhaps you're waiting to like gather all this strength so you can finally tell him, but I understand that it could be a really difficult moment for you, and it's a sad situation as well. But perhaps there is something that, do you think that if you wait a little bit longer, it will affect you, or it will like make you even more stronger to know him?
Maybe with time, I will realize what this guy truly wants with me.
Okay.
And then it would be easier. Like let's say that this guy doesn't want to be with me, like, and he's planning all this future with me, and then we both like join somehow to tell him. Then I think that would be a bit easier because I would have this guy's support, and we would both like create this like really safe place in which we could, like, three of us talk and share what's going on and how do we feel. And I really think that me doing this alone is a bit harder because I'm receiving the consequences alone.
Okay.
So maybe with a bit of time, I could talk to this guy and like convince him to like stand in my side or something. But then again, I feel like my friend would feel like we are betraying him together.
Okay.
So it's like really, really confusing, and I have literally like analyzed every option, and I feel like the best option right now is just to tell him as soon as I can, and to be like really honest, and to avoid like any kind of sign of me wanting to fight for this.
Okay. Yeah. So even though there are a lot of pathways that you could choose and with different options, perhaps the most real one or healthy one is to like go with it and just tell him about this, even though it's scary and even though it's something that you may not want to do, and you're telling me that you would prefer that this guy will support you, but perhaps that may not happen, so you think that the only way to do this is just telling him right away because of all the things that you have told me before.
Yeah, just I feel like it's gonna be more like honest and more like friendly from me, just to like be truthful about this, and I want to express like how hard this has been for me. Like keeping this for myself has been really hard, and I just want him to see that, and see that I never meant to cause him any harm. And like if he wants me to drop my relationship with this guy, I will, like without question. And as I told you, I feel like it would be a lot harder for him to drop it for me than like all the way around.
Okay, so you know all of those things that you tell me, but there's something that tells me that you just want to tell him right away and just like get over with this.
Yeah.
And it seems that it's something really hard for you right now, that it's something that is, like you said, like it's a dilemma for you and you've been thinking about it quite a while. So right now it seems that you've taken the decision of telling him. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So perhaps that's something we can talk a little bit more.
Yes.
Okay.